Hi there, I'm Diane, and welcome to the Creator Craft and Inspiration Small Business Saturday event. I believe I am live. Anyway, I'm so excited to be here and represent Magnolia Design Co. Run by Lisa Ramsey and Crystal Mugford, who are two awesome women with integrity and love to support us. So welcome. I am located in Johnston, Iowa, which is a suburb of Des Moines. So all of you Iowa people, say hey. I'm anxious to show you what my small business is. And so I'm going to be using some Magnolia products today, and we're going to get started. First I'm going to tell you what I'll be using. I will be using one of the 4-pack of mini rolling pins, and I have taken this rolling pin and just painted it with acrylic paint on the barrel because we're going to stencil it, and we're going to stencil it with one of the 12-pack of stencils that we got in our April craft club. And just to show you what craft club's about, this is what I did. In this craft club, we got a full-size beautiful apron, a full-size exclusive stencil that says Baker's Gonna Bake. I added the pockets, and then I took 2 of the 12-pack from the previous month and put it on the pockets. And that is one of the things that I love about Magnolia, is our craft club. Our craft club is the, whoops, I just about threw my microphone off. Our craft club is the only craft club out there that has a surface, like you saw we got the apron, an exclusive stencil, either ink or chalk paste, and all of the embellishments that you need. Sometimes we get greenery, sometimes we get ribbon or beads. So thanks for hopping on, ladies. I see some people that I know. Hi, Vivian and Kat and Pat. And I will go back when this is done and say hi to all of you that I missed. Thanks for all the hearts. I appreciate it. And Humblebee, thank you. You love the apron. You can't, if you don't know about Craft Club, you need to go to the Magnolia site and check out Craft Club. But I want to get busy because I have a small allotted amount of time here. So what we're going to do, the first thing is we are going to stencil this little rolling pin. And I am going to put the stencil on it called Baker's Gonna Bake. And you can see that it's been used before. And don't worry if the green part of the stencil gets stained. Do you see how the white silk screen is still clear? That's all that matters. If it's stained, it's still usable. These stencils are usable over and over and over again. And because I've used this so much, I don't need to fuzz it. And what I'm going to do is I am going to rub it down as tight as I can get it. I'm going to use half of one of the squeegees that we got in our craft club for the 4th of July, and I'm going to use our brilliant white chalk paste. So let me get that open. And I'm going to hold the stencil still here. And you know, a lot of people say to me, I am afraid to stencil. You know what? There is nothing to be afraid of. I always tell people, if you can spread butter on bread, you can stencil. It's as easy as that. All I'm doing is spreading chalk paste over the silk screen. So there's no trick to it. And your stencils will be usable over and over again, which is wonderful. So if you don't use this stencil till next year, you can pull it out of your stencil drawer and use it all over again for whatever you want. So that is one of the things that I am very thankful for. I'm just going to peel and reveal, and there we go. Baker's gonna bake. And you know what? I forgot to turn around my camera. I am so sorry. And I am a little old school. I'm going to put my stencil down in the water. I normally do that for all of my lives, but apparently I was trying so hard to do this that I didn't get it turned around, so please forgive me. So just pretend it's a mirror image, okay? The next thing I'm going to be needing is my tacky towel, and this is awesome. It's a very low pile on one side, and it's a velour on the opposite side to fuzz your stencils. And you're going to say, why do you need to fuzz stencils? These are so sticky that you want to get a little bit of lint on the back just so that you can peel it back up off the surface. And as you can see, I've used this one before, and it's called Mrs. Claus Bake Shop. And always write the name on the back of the stencil so that you know which side to put it back on after it's clean and dried. And we are going to use this 18 by 12 inch plaque that is MDF, which is manufactured dense fiber, which is just wood fibers that are all pressed together. You can see how thick it is, and you treat it just like wood. I have painted it with a white acrylic paint. Now when you paint wood, it has a tendency to lift the fibers up. So what I always do is I take a little sanding pad and just go over it lightly, and then you can wax the surface with the Magnolia 100% beeswax. And the great thing about this, if you have allergies or get sick from smells, is there is absolutely no aroma. And what you do is you rub it on, then you buff it off really good. And I have found that if you let it dry at least for a couple of hours or maybe even overnight, then it's not going to have any stick to interfere. But it will put a barrier between your chalk paste and your surface. Now, I don't need to fuzz this one again either because I've used it so often, but I am going to show you a trick. When you have a big stencil like this, you don't want to take it off and have it curl up around itself. So when I fuzz it, thank you for all the hearts. And remember, there is a form on there. Make sure that you fill out the Google form so that your name is in for the prize. They're giving away prizes every hour. That's the kind of company Magnolia is. How I fuzz a big stencil is I pull half of it back, lay my tacky towel down, fuzz it a couple of times, put this back down, and then lift up the second side and fuzz it. So I'm going to get rid of that. And when you peel your stencils off, you don't want to stretch them, so peel either from side to side or top to bottom. Going to lay my stencil down, and I'm going to put it up just a little bit, but I want to make sure, I don't know if you can see me. I'm going to tip you down a little bit more so that you can see. You don't need to see my whole head. There we go. It's better if you see what I'm doing. So I'm going to spread it out, and you want to go from the center out so that you get all of the air bubbles out. And what I love to use when I have a big stencil is my handled squeegee, the large handled squeegee. And then I go from the center out, and I'm sorry if that squealing bothers you, but it just gets it down nice and tight. I use this if I'm doing a large stencil all at once, but this gets all of the bubbles out. And if you see a little bubble underneath, you just lift it up, bring it back down. And the reason that we want to get all the air bubbles out is you don't want to have any bleeding. Okay, so this is what it looks like now. And I am going to use, for this stencil, candy apple red chalk paste and coal black chalk paste. And then we're going to do some embellishments, and you'll see how the whole thing just fits together. I am going to do the words Mrs. Claus Made with Love and Bake Shop. I think I'm going to do Mrs. Claus Made with Love Established, and the cookies, hot cocoa, and fudge in black. So we have that you can get a pack of 24 stir sticks, and that's something that you always want to do, is keep your chalk paste stirred. I always tell my customers that they should every few weeks stir their chalk paste, and if needed, just spritz it with a little bit of distilled water. And Magnolia has the most amazing fine mist sprayer, and that's what I use to moisten my, and I'm a messy crafter. I get chalk paste all over everywhere. So let me tell you a little bit more about my business and why I love Magnolia. Magnolia is not just for young people. It's for any age. You have to be 18 to be a creator. But as you can tell, I am not a young lady. I have children, grandchildren. I've been married 50 years. I've been in a lot of different sales positions, but when I found a little over 2 years ago Magnolia Design Co., I knew it was the fit for me. And how did I know? I have always loved color and creating, but I can't even draw a stick person. I worked in a paint department, was a manager of a paint department, helped people pick out colors, and I love that. I've always loved color, but I always wanted to be artistic. Well, let me tell you, Magnolia Designs has beautiful, beautiful stencils that will make you look like the most artistic person in town. So finally, I can make beautiful, beautiful crafts and gifts. And people say to me, "Where did you get that?" And I can say, "I made it for you," which is the best. So not only have I been able to be creative, but I have met the most incredible family of crafters. It never ceases to amaze me. This is the only company that I can think of that it's not about competition. It's about helping each other, lifting each other up, and being a friend in need. I recently recovered from COVID, and I had so many people contacting me, asking me how I was doing. So now I am going to shut my chalk paste up because you always want to keep it closed when you're not using it. And that's how it stays moist and creamy. Another thing I love is we have training, free training every week. And if you have a question, no one's going to say, "What did you ask that for?" They're going to be right there to help you. Now I'm going to use the candy apple red on the rest. And at my age, my husband is retired. We like to have a flexible schedule. Now what I'm doing is just going top to bottom here. And do you see, even though this is an 18 by 12 stencil, how quickly it works? Anyway, that is the beauty of Magnolia Design. No one tells me when I have to work. If I miss a training on Facebook, I can watch it on replay. Oh, how I got some black in here, probably off my hand. No one tells me that, "Diane, you have to sell so much," because we have no quotas, which is amazing. Plus, I get the most fantastic discount. I get 35% off of all my craft supplies as a creator. So when I purchase things that I would buy normally, I'm getting them at a discount. Now, as soon as I get this bottom done, I'm going to show you a tip of when you do a large stencil, the lift, so that the chalk paste does not dry on the stencil and pull up. So let me get the excess off here. So I am just going to pull it from the side up. And lay it back down. And then pull from the bottom up and lay it back down. Now, to get in this little spot, I am going to use one of our paintbrush squeegees, which come in a 5-pack with all different tips. And make sure it's down tight again. And they are awesome for getting in small spaces. That's the great part about Magnolia. They supply us with not only all the training, but they supply us with the tools that we need to be successful and be crafty. Okay, now I got that little space done. I will just wipe off the excess, put it back in the jar, and go back to my squeegee and just start going top to bottom again. So if you have any questions at all, I'm one of those people that is not real good at multitasking. So if you have any questions, please ask in the comments and I can go back when this is done. Or I know that Lisa is on, one of the co-owners. She can ask your questions. And if you want to check out Magnolia Designs and you already have a creator, you can go to their website, or you can go to the link provided in the comments and you can actually look up a creator by your zip code to see one that is close to you, which is awesome. Well, I threw my paintbrush squeegee in the water, and I shouldn't have because I still need to get those other 2 stripes. But I will use one of the other ones here. Scrape off the excess. So if you have been thinking that, it sure would be nice to have a hobby, or I sure could use a little extra cash. The creator before me said how fun it was to get a check in her bank account for having fun. And that is an awesome thing every month, to be rewarded for sharing with people what I do. And if you think you could never do a live, there are so many ways to do this business. You can create things and sell them, like at craft fairs. You can just make gifts and get your discount. You can do it whatever way you want to, because Lisa and Crystal have set it up to be the easiest way possible and the most beneficial to have your own small business. And that's what this is all about. So let's pull it all up here. And now I'm going to take my stencil and put it upside down. I always keep a tub of water next to me when I'm doing lives, because I can't go directly to the sink. But you want to go to the sink and wash your stencil off as soon as you can, because that will help it last a long time, which is what you want. I'm going to close up my chalk paste. And what I'm going to do before I close this one is, I can see it leaves a little moisture, as I'm just going to spritz it in this fine, fine mist sprayer. Thanks for all of the hearts. So here we have Mrs. Claus Bake Shop. Now we want to embellish it a little bit. This is a beautiful, beautiful sign, but we're going to embellish it. And I'm going to show you one of my favorite bows to make. And I have two sizes of ribbon here. This is 2.5 inch, and this is 1.5 inch. These were all 16 inches long pieces, and I took them and glued them together in the center. And I'm going to take that center and fold this flat, and I am going to, and you know what, I think I did one of my back bows. I did my back tie I made, because I noticed it looked awfully small. Okay, so I'm just going to let this cool off for 1 second. So I put this in a cross, and then I'm going to fold this flat. And this is wire edged ribbon, and I'm going to cross it like this. Now I'm going to take the 14-inch pieces and do the same thing. The part that's glued together on the back, I'm going to go left and right and across, like this. Now I just need to find my little zip tie. Here we go. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the red and white dot for the tails. And this is a 14-inch piece. I'm going to fold it in half like this. Then I'm going to fold it in half again. Thank you for all the hearts. I really appreciate it. Make sure that you're filling out that Google form so that you get your name in for the hourly prizes. And I clipped it, and now both ends of my bow are dovetailed. So I'm going to take my zip tie and put it underneath here. And going to pull it a little bit tight, and then I want to check that all of my ribbons are even before I turn it to the back and tighten it some more. So this is what I've got. So I'm going to turn the latch to the back, and now I'm going to take this and put it through the back of the loop, and it'll be face up halfway. And now I'm going to tighten and cinch my zip tie. So the first thing I'm going to do is take the two tails and bring them down. Now I'm just going to start fluffing the bow loops, and it's amazing. I used to make horrible bows, and I was determined I was going to be able to make a nice bow. So I studied every YouTube and every place I could find to make bows. And I finally have a couple of bows that I really like. And you just put your fingers in the loops and fluff them out. Now remember, today we're using chalk paste. If you are using fabric like I showed you on the apron, you would use ink. Ink is for fabric and for ceramics, and it needs to be heat set. And you can make wonderful t-shirts, tea towels, tote bags, anything fabric you can possibly imagine, mugs, and those can be heat set in the oven. And if you have questions about that, you can find directions on the website or ask a creator. They'll be glad to tell you. So here is my bow. I'm going to clip off, pull it a little bit tighter, and then clip off the back. Now before we glue it onto the top of this sign, I always like to give things dimension. I am going to take, it's called Distress ink, and I got this from Amazon, and it's just a little ink pad, and I am just going to go around the corners and just give a little distress. You know what? I think my ink pad has dried out, so let me show you a trick. I learned this from one of our other creators, Heidi Scott, and I am going to take one of our little trays that come in a 24 pack, and I'm going to put a little bit of chalk paste in this tray. You can always improvise when you craft. If at first it doesn't work, just try something else. And I'm going to use one of these little Dollar Tree spatulas and just put some chalk paste on the edge. And now I am just going to go around the edge very gently and just give it a little bit of definition. I need a little more chalk paste. I was not generous enough with that. And if you get too much on, you can wipe it off. I start out, it's always better to start out with less, because you can always add more. And if you get too much on, just take a wet wipe and wipe them off. And that's another thing I want to tell you. I have found that you don't want to get baby wipes near your stencils because they have a lot of petroleum jelly in them for baby's cute little bottom. And if you get that on your stencil, it will definitely take the stick away. Now, can you see what I'm doing? Just giving it a little definition. So I just go to Walmart and get the generic kind of disinfectant wipes. You can get them in a big tub. And use those to wipe my hands off and anything that's near my stencils. So we're almost around. And then I will lift it up and show you. And then we are going to take hot glue and glue that little Baker's Gonna Bake rolling pin on the bottom. See, now I got a little extra on here, so I am just going to take my wet one. Now let me show you what can be a real lifesaver if you want to get something dry before you move on to touching it. Another tool that Magnolia has given us in our crafting arsenal. Let me get all the chalk paste off my fingers because, like I said, I am a messy crafter. These are the kind of things that I get. Is a heat tool. And of course it's green because that's Magnolia's signature color. And it's wonderful. It says Magnolia Design Co. on here. Got a couple of other things that are on the cord. And I am just going to go around, excuse the noise, and just dry that chalk paste a little bit. Normally chalk paste dries within 5 to 10 minutes, and it is water soluble. So if you want it to be permanent, which I am going to want this to be permanent, then I am going to spray it with a clear spray sealer. But if I want to use this beautiful surface from Magnolia over again, then I will just leave it and I'll wash it off. And I can put something brand new on it. One of the things that I do is I have a store. It's not my personal store. There's a store where I sell my creations, and it's a great way to make extra money. I just wiping off a few things here, and I shouldn't have done that. Should always wait till it's totally dry, but I can fix it. Okay, let's find our little... But before I put this on, I am going to hang a little mint on the end. That's why I put the Baker's Gonna Bake over to the right side. And again, I apologize for not having my camera turned around. Please forgive me. It's not Magnolia, it's Diane. DIY with Lady Di made a goof and did not turn my camera. I was so concerned with getting in, and I have got black everywhere. Messy, messy. I was so concerned with getting in on their page that I wasn't even thinking about turning my camera, and it was one of our directions. Make sure you turn your camera. So I believe I've got all the black off of me and that. So I'm going to take this little candy cane, mint Christmas candy, came in an 8-pack, and I believe I got this at Hobby Lobby. And I am just going to take this little gold cord and tie it around here, and then we are going to just tie a mini bow to it. So I'm going to double knot this. I've had to have some hand joints replaced, so my dexterity sometimes leaves a lot to be desired, but it doesn't stop me from crafting. And if you need something in your life to make you feel relaxed, okay, I've got that tied in a double knot. Let me clip it off. So now I've got that hanging on, and now what I'm going to do to keep going with the black and red and white theme is I've got one of these tiny bows. I got these in a 24 pack on Amazon, and I'm just going to glue it right over the top of that little gold cord. And another tip I want to give you, when you are gluing anything on wood, I always use the hot glue, because I have found that over time, if you use the cool temperature glue, it will not stick. So I'm going to try to get some of this off where I bloopered, but I will be able to do it later. Now I'm going to glue this right to the bottom. I'm just going to set some glue on here. And I'm going to hold it down for a minute. So did you fill out the Google form that is there so that you can get your name in for the prize? And I am look at me. Where are my wipes? I'm just a mess. But you know what? I have fun. And that's what crafting is all about. I love to teach people how to have joy through crafting. And that's all because of what Magnolia has provided us with. So I believe that that is on there tight now. So we've got this part done. And now let's take care of the bow. And I'm thinking I want to offset it just a little bit, and I got more. Usually I can wait a little bit longer for the chalk paste to dry, but I want to stick with my timeline here. But I have a couple more things I want to tell you, so let's let this dry a little bit more before we put the bow that we made on. Do you see this beautiful Magnolia tote bag? And it's even insulated. And I just found out today that these bags are made by the same company that makes the Victoria's Secret bags. And let me tell you, they carry a lot of weight, and the straps are strong. I went to the Magnolia celebration and my luggage didn't come. And I bought an extra one of these. I've got one upstairs that I use all the time too. And you wouldn't believe all the stuff I could fit in here to take on the airplane. So before I make any more messes, I'm going to wipe off my little spatula here and get that in the water. So if you think you are interested at all in becoming a creator, today is the day, because besides getting either the $69 craft kit or the $99 craft kit, you will get a free tote bag, and it's extremely well made, and you will love it. And it's a great way to go into Sam's Club or Costco or anything and use it to put your things in. You'll say, people will ask you, what is Magnolia Design Co? And you can tell them about the best company out there. So I think it's dried enough. I'm going to move it back here. And I think instead of having my tails come down to cover any words, I am going to have them go out to the side. And wouldn't you know it, right when I want to use that glue, I run out of glue sticks. I use Gorilla Glue. It has never given me a problem. And since I've started using this, I've just not had problems with things falling off. So let's just push this down on here, and I'll hold it a minute. And let me see if I see any questions. Little gingerbread men would be cute on the side. You know, they really would. And I thought of that. Right down on each side of this, it would be absolutely perfect. And I might do that and show a picture of it later. So I've got this glued down. Oh, I need to hold it a minute longer. Just push down. And I could have used red and black buffalo check in here, but I thought this red and white striped ribbon and the red and white dotted ribbon just is so festive. Okay, so you're going to see the little smear down here, right here, but I can wash that off and put the stencil back over the top and fix it. But what I'll do first is I will spray it with, see the edge isn't dry yet, a clear spray sealer, so that when I go over the top of it, I don't reactivate it. Thank you for all the hearts. Okay, before I go on, let me wipe off my mess again. So let's go over a few things. I used one of the Craft Club, one of 12 minis, to stencil the little rolling pin. The rolling pins come in a 4-pack, so here's the other 3. They are so cute. You can use them on in dough bowls. You can use them on your tiered trays, and Magnolia has different stencils for all different seasons for rolling pins. Then I took the 18 by 12 inch plaque surface and I painted it with a white acrylic paint. Then I took the Mrs. Claus Bake Shop stencil, put it down, used red, candy apple red, and I used coal black chalk paste. I used the white, brilliant white, on the little rolling pin, which I had already painted red, the barrel of it red. Then I hung a little peppermint candy, put a little black and white checked bow here, and I showed you how to make this bow. So why would you want to become part of Magnolia Design? Let me tip this up a little bit so I can see you. If you want, thank you for all the hearts. I appreciate it. If you are looking for friendship, this is the place. If you are looking to become creative, to make things, to have a side gig and make some extra money, this is the place. If you are looking for all the training and not any competition, this is the place, because the creators, we're like a family. We help each other. It's not, uh-oh, if I tell her that, she'll sell more than I do. It's not like that. It is a family. If you are looking for stencils that are high quality, I love the Bible verses. I love them. I have made so many beautiful things to have scripture around my house or to give as gifts. You need to look at Magnolia's site and check out all of the beautiful things. I love the quality of the stencils. They're silk screened that you put either the ink or the chalk paste through. You can also use etching cream with them. It won't hurt at all. There's one other thing, and the name just totally went out of my mind, where you can do wood burning, but it won't hurt the stencils. They just have beautiful, beautiful results. You just need to take care of them. You need to take care of your chalk paste by stirring it, by keeping it moist with distilled water. Do not use a wooden craft stick to stir your chalk paste. You'll be doing exactly the opposite of what you want. The wooden stir stick will suck all the moisture out. Use either one of our plastic stir sticks or use a metal spoon. Now, let me show you. If I was going to make, this is a beautiful little zipper bag. Zipper has a clip-on handle. If I was going to stencil on fabric, I would use ink. Ink has a white cover. Chalk paste has a red cover. Ink needs to be heat set. So I want to make sure that my time is not running out here. See if I have anything. You want to make sure that you stay with us, because as soon as I'm done, Joey Bailey with Created in Awe will be coming live. And Joey has the most creative mind. She has the sweetest personality. She's so bubbly. I got to meet her when we went to North Carolina, and it was so much fun. And like I said, it was like you know these people all of your life because of the close-knit creative community that Lisa and Crystal have started, and that goes from the top down. It has to start with management, and that's the kind of atmosphere they have created. So if you would like any more information, just click on the link there. Make sure you keep watching, because at 1 o'clock you have a chance to win a $25 Magnolia gift certificate. And they're going to talk all about what's involved with becoming a creator, why you want to do it today to get your free tote bag. And if you fill out that form, your name will be in to get a $25 gift certificate to pick anything you want off of the Magnolia website. And don't miss out on the Black Friday deal that's going on through Sunday. You get a free 8.5 by 11 stencil of your choice with any $75 order. And all you do is go to the end to check out, and you will be prompted to pick out a free 8.5 by 11 stencil, which is awesome. I mean, really, to get that free. Magnolia treats not only their creators well, they treat their customers well. If you ever call customer service and you talk to Shayna or Sam, you will know what true customer service is. They are so sweet. If you have a problem, you call them, they take care of it. That kind of customer service isn't available anywhere. I don't know if you've gone into stores lately and wondered, where did customer service go? But it's been the training that they've gotten. So again, today we made this Mrs. Claus Bake Shop sign. I've told you about the specials. Continue watching, because we're going to have a Cyber Monday sale also, and you're going to want to know what that is. So keep watching. In a few minutes, Joey Bailey with Created in Awe will be live. And if you have, does anybody have any questions that I could answer? Oh, thanks, Joey. You're welcome, Kathy. You're welcome, Deb. You're a designer just for my own to make family and friends gifts. And the discount, yes, Donna, it is. It's great. How do you keep the stencil sticky on the back? You want to wash it in cool water. That's a great question. You wash it in cool water. You dry it upside down. If it is losing some of its stickiness, take one of the, don't take a baby wipe because it'll fill it with petroleum jelly. Take one of these, and this is the kind that I usually buy, the generic ones from Walmart. Take a disinfecting wipe and just wipe it over a little bit, and eventually they will lose their stickiness. It's inevitable. But if you put the stencil down and put your hand on it and hold it when you start, that is going, once you get some chalk paste on, that is going to hold it, and just keep holding the top and going in one direction, and you'll be able to keep using it. Let's see. Well, it doesn't want, there we go. Thank you, Jan. See if there's any questions. You're not good at embellishments. Well, you know what? It takes practice, just like anything else. Go on Google or on YouTube and just finish it. Look at pictures on Pinterest, and you will find lots of things that will go well with all of our creative stencils. Okay, you're a creator and you want the bag. You can go to your back office and order it. Thank you, Jan. Hot glue is your love language. Oh, that's funny, Melanie. And I am going to, we have little gingerbread men stencils, and I think one on each side of the little rolling pin would be absolutely adorable. So thank you for that idea. It does make people happy. Okay, whoops. An antibacterial wipe interchangeable with, yes, they are. They're interchangeable. Just don't use baby wipes because they have petroleum jelly in. Thank you for the stars, Ann. You're welcome, Donna. Okay, hang on. I believe, let me check my time here, in 7 minutes that Joey Bailey with Created in Awe will be live, and now you'll have a few minutes to consider, what would my life be like if I could learn the joy of creating and get a fantastic discount and possibly even earn money. The best part is there are no quotas, and I promise you there are no quotas. Nobody's going to be sending you emails, hey, or cutting you off saying, hey, you didn't get this much, you didn't order this much. It just doesn't happen. It's so easy. Mistakes are easily fixed with chalk paste. They are. And another tip, if you make a mistake with ink, you know what I do? There are little hearts or little stars or something else on another stencil. Just put that over the top of your little blooper. Use the same color ink and no one will ever know. That's the great part of being creative. You just fix your bloopers. Don't worry about bloopers. If you get something off an assembly line, how often do you go to the store and something is crooked or half, not, the print isn't there? But when you make something homemade, you are telling the gift receiver, I care enough about you to spend time making something for you. Where do you put the zip code to find a creator nearby? You go to the website and then it should in the upper right-hand corner, I believe, Lisa, tell me if I'm wrong, say Find a Creator. And if you click on that, you will put in your zip code, and it should give you names of creators that are near you. Gloria. And if that's not correct, Lisa, please correct me, but I believe that is. Okay, now we're down to just a few minutes before Joey goes live. So take a deep breath, go get a drink of water, whatever you need to do between now and 11:30, and thanks so much for joining me. Have a great and blessed day, and make sure you watch all the other